When introducing a new baby into the family, many people worry about how their pets might possibly react. That's why this one family decided to record their dog when he was left alone with their child, and what they saw shocked them. Lots of people know that pets can sometimes behave a bit unpredictably when a new baby is brought into the family. Sometimes the animals are thrilled with the new addition and can't wait to play with their new brother or sister. Other animals are a bit more cautious, worried that there might not be enough love to go around for the both of them. That's why it's important to carefully introduce the two beings to each other in a controlled manner. But when Julia Kopakawa and Daniel Dreswick saw what their beagle Charlie did with their new baby back in 2020, they couldn't help but be shocked. Originally from Lithuania, Julia and Daniel decided to move to Ennis, Ireland, which is in the UK, a few years ago. Armed with nothing but their 2 suitcases and a bucket full of determination, the couple set out to make themselves a brand new home filled with love and friendship. Once they had arrived in Ennis, they wasted no time in getting to know their local neighbors. They settled into the town well and even became avid members of their community. They were always about to help out if anyone needed it or simply have a nice chat with anyone who wanted one. But one of their favorite things to do was to spend their Friday nights at the local pub, where they would meet with their neighbors and enjoy the evening together. But as they lived their lives in their small but cozy semi-detached house, they both knew that something was missing from their family. It wasn't long before the couple found themselves standing in a room full of dogs at a farm, just 10 minutes away from their home. "Let's just do it," Daniel said to his wife. But Julia was a bit hesitant at first. She didn't know if they would be able to give a dog the attention that it needed, or if they even had the space for a little puppy in their small home. But then she laid her eyes on a gorgeous beagle puppy who was happily wagging his tail at the couple. The moment she saw him, Julia knew she couldn't say no. That very same day, they drove back to their home with a new addition in their small family. As he sat in the back, excited to see where his new home would be, the couple turned to their new family member. Together, they decided to name him Charlie. Like many new pups, Charlie was excitable and full of energy, especially when it came to exploring new things. So the minute that he set his paw into his new home, Julia and Daniel knew they needed to train him. Luckily, beagles are quite intelligent dogs and have even been trained as sniffer dogs by police forces all over the world. Because of this, the responsible owners were able to train Charlie to do a number of household tasks. From fetching the remote control to shutting cabinets, Charlie was a smart little pup who was happy to help out. But little did the dog know there would soon be another little member of the family on the way. One day, Julia came rushing in through the front door, calling out for Daniel to come to her quickly. Worried that something had happened to his wife, Daniel ran down the stairs with his heart beating like a drum. He burst into the living room and saw Julia standing there. He asked her what was wrong, and she smiled. Daniel's confusion quickly turned to excitement as his wife told him that she was pregnant. That night, they celebrated by going out for dinner at their local restaurant. Upon returning home, Charlie greeted his owners with his usual happy self. The couple then realized that they might have a problem. How would their puppy react to his new brother or sister? Would he be happy, or would he possibly become jealous and overprotective of his parents? Knowing that something had to be done to make sure that everyone got along, Daniel quickly got to work training the dog to help look after the baby. It's not like Charlie was a jealous dog, but he did enjoy attention, so Daniel thought by training him to help, he wouldn't feel so left out. Finally, after 9 long months, it was time to put Charlie's skills to the test. The couple's daughter, Laura, arrived on a cold winter evening after 13 hours of labor. When they were finally allowed to go back home, Julia couldn't wait to introduce the newest member of the family to Charlie. Once back at their home, Daniel wasted no time in sitting on a mat with his daughter, low enough so that the beagle could come and say hello. Cautious at first, Charlie slowly but surely made his way over to say hello, and within moments of meeting, his little tail was wagging as happily as ever. It was a good sign. By the time that Laura was a few months old, the pup had pretty much become a part-time nanny for the blue-eyed babe. His training even paid off, with him helping with parental tasks such as fetching nappies to help change her along with getting her blanket to keep her warm. It seemed as though Charlie had truly fallen in love with his little sister. Julia and Daniel were thrilled to see the two getting along, but there was still one question that needed answering. Could Charlie be trusted alone with Laura? For all the time that the two had spent together, they had always been under the careful eye of either Daniel or Julia. This left the couple thinking whether Charlie truly did love the baby or whether he was simply helping because he wanted to please his parents. In order to find out the answer, the couple decided to purchase a small video camera and set it up in the living room so that they could see for themselves how Charlie would react with Laura without them there. Once everything was ready, the new mother and father went upstairs together, leaving Charlie and Laura downstairs alone. Sitting anxiously on the end of their bed, they hoped only the best outcome would happen. The next day, whilst baby Laura was having a nap and Charlie was eating his lunch, the couple decided to watch the video. But what they saw amazed them. In the footage, they could clearly see Charlie was doing everything he could to keep his little sister entertained. He rocked her to sleep in her crib. He even played the keyboard for her, though maybe not very well. Julia and Daniel were delighted to see that the beloved beagle really did genuinely love their daughter as much as they did. Inspired by the video of the two together, Julia and Daniel posted the video onto their social media sites, and they even decided to start their own YouTube channel, focusing mainly on Charlie and Laura's adventures together. The channel quickly had more than 100 videos on it and amassed a total, at the time, of 95 million views. Their delightful videos have entertained and enlightened millions of people worldwide. But there was one particular video which caught people's attention. With over 25 million views and 2,000 comments, what was this video about? Well, the clip in question showed Charlie walking around the living room, sniffing for new smells. Laura, meanwhile, was in her bouncer happily bouncing away with a toy in her hands. Seeing what his little sister was up to, the mischievous beagle makes his way over to the 5-month-old baby and takes the stuffed toy away from her. He then crawls back over to his own bed with the toy in his mouth. Well, like many people might expect, the baby started crying because of her missing toy. Hearing her cries, the pup quickly realized that he had done something wrong. He bounced back up out of his bed, rushed over to Laura, the toy still in his mouth. He gave the toy back to the child, who then giggled and stroked Charlie's ear. The dog himself was happily wagging his tail at making things right again. Since then, the pair have become inseparable, doing pretty much everything together. From eating, sleeping, playing, and napping, these two are best friends. And whilst some people may believe that animals are too dangerous to have around new babies, Daniel and Julia would definitely disagree, especially when it comes to their beautiful and beloved beagle, Charlie, who has shown nothing but love and kindness for his entire family. What an incredible story! This just proves that dogs really are man's best friends. If you loved this story as much as I did, don't forget to like and subscribe to get new amazing content daily. I'll see you next time for more inspiring tales.